Let me get started. Hello, judges. My name is Diaz, and I'm the founding lead of YIMBY Action's 76th chapter because I believe the housing crisis is the most pressing issue of our time. According to Zillow, just 15% of renters can afford home ownership, and this problem is the worst on the West Coast. This 80 to 100% AMI bracket are our teachers, firefighters, and nurses who earn too much for subsidies but too little to get a mortgage. So these hardworking Americans end up priced out of high opportunity neighborhoods with access to schools and jobs. And starter homes under 1,400 square feet that are smaller and more affordable, well, they're a dying breed. And together, I want us to do something about it. And this is what changes everything. Columbia Bank just signed a community benefit agreement for the West Coast, which put $3 billion in loans towards expanding access to home ownership for disadvantaged groups and low middle income earners in our bracket. We'll be partnering with them for what's next. Now, I'd like you to meet Picket, a mobile app and financial product that will be Columbia Bank's most innovative offering yet, empowering first-time homebuyers to pool resources and unlock the American dream together. So, how does it work? First, Picket's algorithm scrapes public data and realtor listings to find underutilized lots in high-opportunity neighborhoods. It picks the best into a curated catalog of prime build sites. Next, first-time homebuyers set their preferences on Picket almost like Zillow, distance to schools, stores, and more. Several buyers with the same preferences are matched to ideal parcels and look at floor plans together. If they agree to collaborate, they can proceed with FHA Section 203K loans from Columbia and put down just 3.5% deposit for their fraction to both purchase the site and build a cottage court, taking advantage of recent ADU reforms on the West Coast. All buyers then become homeowners, building wealth in a limited equity cooperative, which is uniquely compatible with both FHA loans and cottage courts. Our unique value proposition is that we can avoid most permitting fees and regulatory hurdles by using ADUs in a proven cottage court model, where you'll see on the top right that in Oregon, these units are up to $300,000 cheaper than the average standard detached home, which makes a world of difference. And you'll see here, on this example on the left, where 6 ADUs in Oregon are being put on what was previously a single-family lot. On the other hand, you'll see on the right that this is a typical suburban block that has been built to the new zoned capacity under the most recent reforms to zoning regulations statewide in Oregon. And for here, we'll see that by partnering with the same builders, insurers, and suppliers across the board, we can achieve great economies of scale, perfecting the process so that every project will run like clockwork. Most importantly, I'm not just pitching. I am uniquely positioned to implement this in the real world, as I hold the fellowship with Columbia Bank that is exclusively focused on solutions to increase their low and middle income lending by 79% in 3 years in order to be in compliance with their contractual obligations. This is the key deliverable of my 9-month work plan, and this project could be how I pull it off. Your vote of confidence can help turn this innovation into a reality. And with that, I'd like to turn to questions.
Awesome job. Thanks, Diego. Judges, questions?
Diego, this is Jacques. So can I ask so this is a platform where you're arranging buyers with the capital stack, but are you also going to you plan on having architects, engineers, general contractors, so it really is a one-stop shop, or is this just to arrange the financing?
It is meant to be full stack, but so mortgage lenders very much like to stay in their lane of just providing the financial service, and that's what Columbia Bank will mostly stick to. So they do have the mobile app that functions a little bit like Zillow as far as having this catalog of parcels that first-time homebuyers can peruse and choose from, but then once they can combine with other buyers to express interest in developing a site, then Columbia Bank mostly hands it off to almost a Rolodex of partners that they don't really own or like expend FTE or man hours to really manage, but it does help streamline the process.
So they'd have to collectively find their own like developer to do the entitlement side.
Kind of. The idea is that there will be, because it's focused on this geographic area, you would have the same builders that would be experienced with these kinds of developments, and that they could be called upon and referenced for practically all projects. And they wouldn't be necessarily exclusive if the buyers had a separate preference, but it would just be you have a set of contacts that are already with the program, and they know how everything works, and yeah, it's supposed to run like clockwork.
Diego, a follow-up question. So the 3 billion fund, is that funding the construction and then it gets repaid back when they get mortgages? Or is the 3 billion construction turning into permanent mortgages?
So this is compliance with federal regulation that requires lending to low and middle income borrowers as well as disadvantaged groups from Columbia Bank. You'll see on the right here is actually the scope of where they intend to make these investments, and these are all of their branches that they are going to be putting these investments around geographically on the West Coast. And you'll see on the left is a map of ADU laws where the strongest laws have been mostly implemented on the West Coast. So to your question, it will be that they have to spend this $3 billion within the next 3 years before 2028 in order to satisfy their obligations to these lenders or these borrowers. But the borrowers can't actually find a home in their area that they can qualify for because there just are no options in that price range. So this is helping Columbia Bank meet their obligations for providing these mortgages. They're not meant to be construction loans, but FHA 203K loans are 2-in-1 loans. So they can both be used for, technically it's renovations is what the loan is for, but that also includes ADUs. But that wouldn't be the case if it was a standalone, like full home, like a townhome or something. It wouldn't be covered. But because it's ADUs in particular, it works.
Thank you.
Just so I understand, so you said that this app is going to identify underutilized land, not necessarily on the market.
It would be from the MLS system, which realtors use, and that would be all the parcels that are for sale in the U.S. So it would be overlaying that with the Opportunity Atlas from Raj Chetty in the MIT lab, and just cross-referencing the two. So it would be going through municipal data to see what structures are on a parcel, what's the floor area ratio, if it's underutilized, if it's in the good neighborhood, and it's for sale, it gets put into the catalog automatically, and then potential buyers go through this catalog aligned with their preferences for commute times and such.
Okay, so so let's say that there's a property that's for sale. It's got a single family house on it. Based on zoning, it could have up to 6 units. Was the example you showed? 6 buyers raise their hands and say, "I'm interested in that." So then some developer would get flagged to say there are buyers interested in this site.
It would mostly be that once the buyers have come together and looked at a floor plan and expressed their interest, because the property is already for sale, they would then move forward with an offer once they had been pre-approved by Columbia Bank for their. They decide the floor plan that determines how much it will cost to build the ADUs and how much the loans will need to be approved for. And then once they have that approval from Columbia Bank, they take it to the seller of the site and they make an offer formally.
So so there's 6 people on the, like, so Josh and Jeremy and Zach and Eric and I never met each other. The app puts us together. We all go in, figure out what we want to build. There's no problem with the fact that we all want to be at the front of the lot. We figure that out. The 6 of us got together. We buy the property and we go find a developer.
You would be recommended a developer that had been previously used for other projects, but you wouldn't be restricted to them.
Okay. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Any other judge questions?
Yeah, well, I guess I just, as a final note, might want to mention that specific to that $3 billion in CBA funds would be essentially, because it's for the next 3 years in particular, to increase lending to low and middle income borrowers by 79%. That would essentially act as like the rocket booster for rapid scaling after implementation. But yes, that was the main point.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Diego. If there's no other judge questions, we'll start moving on to the next team, which is combat squirrels. Thank you for your work, Diego. And then Bear CDC, you are on deck. So if you wouldn't mind getting ready to hop on after.
Okay, so for this year's Hack House competition, my team and I have decided to tackle prompt number 1, the finance